What up, Will?
What up?
So
Here
the
we
music
are.
didn't stop abruptly this time. It went a little bit longer. I like it.
Yeah.
How's it going, man? You doing all right?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. Back on fights, Feels
Back
good.
on fights. Thank you, anybody that's joining us today, or even if you're not joining us live, you're catching us at a later date and time. We're starting a little bit later today, Will.
Yeah, not at our regular time, 9 a.m.
Yeah,
Pacific,
my
but here
bad, dude.
we
I had
are.
to work. You know what I
Hey,
mean? Had to make
life
money.
gets in the way sometimes, Gotta make money.
Yeah, but for anybody joining us for the first time, my name is Romero. That's my boy, Will. And this is Story of the Fight. We talk everything fights. In the background, we have our producer, Rich the Casual, right?
I
Shout out
thought you
to
were gonna
Rich.
say in the background we had this new neon sign because you were like
Oh,
leaning
yeah,
away.
dude. Look at this, man. New neon sign. Shout out to my wife, Mindy, for getting this for Father's Day, early Father's Day gift.
Hell yeah.
And you
Yeah,
already
that's
knew,
sick.
Will.
I already knew.
You
Knew
didn't tell
ahead of
me.
time.
I thought we were boys,
No.
dude.
Hey man. Boys let boys be surprised. You know what I'm saying?
On Father's Day, especially on Father's Day.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man. But yeah, so if anybody wants to subscribe, hit the notification bell. It goes a long way. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. We're at 985, is it?
995.
995, 5 away. Please help us out. It goes a long way. And if you don't like seeing our ugly mugs, but you like listening to us talk about fights because you're like, hey, you know what? They have some interesting takes. Then Spotify, Breaker, Podcast, Radio Public, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Anchor FM, you name it. We're on it. You like that promo? We're everywhere.
That was a good one.
You can't avoid us. And then social media.
Yeah, we're at Story of the Fight on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, anywhere else.
We haven't been kicked off from TikTok yet, but
they're keeping us alive.
I haven't posted very much yet because I'm walking on eggshells, dude.
Yeah, and that's like you never want to be in that position.
No, let me be free. Let me be me.
You gotta let me fly.
Yeah, I'm a peacock, dude. And so now I want to post more stuff about fights or interesting things I see, and I'm like, I don't want them to kick us off. We just got started on TikTok.
We just got started. I think if we just post, but we don't post people getting viciously knocked out, I think we'll probably.
That's what sells.
I know. People want to see the knockouts.
Yes. Speaking of knockouts, so hey, shout out HOB Comer. Always a real one, man. Always a real one. But yes.
Speaking of social media, can we talk about Will's profile picture on Instagram? Listen, man. Here's the deal. Star Wars, right? Star Wars is coming out. Right, new series, right? So we're sitting in line, right? Because we camped out for it, all that stuff, right? I think I got the helmet on. Pretty sure I got a helmet on in it. No, maybe it's just this hat. But it's actually at the time Snapchat was getting real popular, and you could do stickers. So it's a cutout of my face on Katie's head is what that picture is. I've actually had someone talk shit to me and say, "Cut your hair, dude. You're a fucking man," or some shit like that. Be a man, cut your hair, or some shit. And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, my profile picture."
That's awesome. Yeah. Getting trolls any way we can. Oh, I love it, man. But hey, there it is. There it is. Rich the Casual.
Damn, Rich so fast.
Timely, man. I love it. Dude, you can so tell that's just poorly photoshopped too. So for
we
anybody
blown up here, but
that's true.
On a phone,
True. But hey, we were speaking of knockouts right now, right? Sorry, TikTok. We're gonna talk about knockouts right now, but let's start off talking about the fights. UFC Vegas 56, I believe it was, right? Richard Casual 56. Had to tell. Richard Casual told me it was UFC Fight Night 56. Yeah, not so casual anymore, huh? But we start off with Volkov versus Rozenstruik or Rozenstruik, potato, depending on who you ask.
Yeah.
Volkov came in favored minus 155.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right?
And this fight kind of went exactly how I thought it was going to go. But you're right. Volkov, he's coming off a loss, right, against Tom Aspinall. Kind of a nasty loss. Yep. Rozenstruik is coming off of what? What was his last fight?
Not even sure. Probably should have done our homework.
Yeah, lost to Curtis Blades.
Curtis
right?
Blades.
Yeah, so both coming off losses, and the UFC's like, you know what? Let's just put him in main events. I don't know.
I mean, look at who he's lost to: Francis Ngannou, Cyril Gane, Curtis Blades, now Volkov.
True. Yeah, I mean,
all killers, man.
All killers, and he should have lost to Overeem, but it is what it is.
Hasn't been the same since he got knocked out by Ngannou, though, huh?
I mean, is anybody? Curtis Blades, only Curtis Blades. But yeah, man, Volkov, you could tell he kind of needed this to be a statement win, because the way he lost to Aspinall, I think a lot of people, for me, all that meant was, Aspinall is legit. He's as legit as we thought he was.
He is who we thought he was. Exactly. That's what we thought.
Yeah. And it didn't make me think any less of Volkov. Volkov's a killer, man. And so he comes in here and he's like the anti-Stefan Struve, in my opinion. He's a super long, super tall heavyweight, but he uses his range so well, man. So well. And
I love that you say that. Yep.
Yeah, and Rozenstruik, say what you will about him, his knockouts are fun for sure. He's been in a few fights now, in my opinion, that it's like, I wouldn't necessarily call him must watch. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but usually it's kind of like a slow, reluctant to go for it, right? And then here he wasn't. And he's
a one-trick pony, man.
Whoa, that's harsh.
He is.
What's the trick?
He just got power in that right hand, man. He's gonna try to knock you out, and that's the trick.
Yeah. Volkov is man. He was doing such a good job of, and it's the same thing that Francis exploited, right? Francis, when he fought Rozenstruik, he just ran straight at him and just winging crazy punches until Rozenstruik just went straight backwards into the fence, got knocked out. And Volkov, you can see, he goes in, he throws his jab, and either it lands or Rozenstruik is just leaning backwards, right? He lands or leans back, but his feet are still right there. So Volkov throws the jab, he leans away from it, and his legs are right there. So he jabs, inside leg kick, jab, outside leg kick, jab, inside leg kick, over and over and over again. And man, Volkov, when he's on, he is on. HLB Comer says, Volkov finally showed what he is capable of when he's on. Yeah, when he's on, he's on. Also liked his post-fight, must read with Russian accent. I'm going to let you take this one, Ramiro.
I don't have a Russian accent. I know what he not good defense back to the cage. I don't know. That's the best I got.
Hey. That works for me, man.
That'll do. That'll do.
But that's what it is, right? That's exactly 100%. It.
100%.
Rozenstruik moves straight backwards, and you can see it as soon as Volkov started pumping the jab. He's just leaning back, and it opens up his legs for the leg kicks. But then Rozenstruik comes back, and he cracks him. He cracked him with that left hook. Yeah, and I was like, oh shit, man! Most people don't take those shots. And then Volkov just turned him around and started swinging on him until he dropped.
And I'm fine with the stoppage too.
Yeah, Rozenstruik complained. Even Volkov was kind of like Rozenstruik stood back up and he was like, "What the hell?" And then even Volkov was like, "I don't know, man. Handshake."
Yeah, man. Hey, HLB Comer says, not the champ of accents. Worst Russian impression ever. Hey, dude, I said, I gave it a shot.
Long time since you watched Rocky IV.
It's been a minute, dude. Yeah. It's been a minute. I gotta watch more Russian videos so I can come back stronger next time. I just want to say, hey, you called out the perfect thing. The thing that I put on my notes, right, is Volkov, the much taller fighter most of the time, and I love that he fights like the much taller fighter.
Yeah,
I absolutely love it. He uses it all the way. And the only time that he stayed in Rozenstruik's distance was really when he was throwing a few combos, but then he was right back out through a front kick, to kind of just make sure you maintain that separation. Dude, it was just a really good performance by Volkov. And I think Volkov is the victim of something like Dan Ige, which we'll talk about a little bit later, where they're really good fighters.
Yeah.
They might be top 10 contenders, but they're just in this part of their career now where they have this younger generation that is just coming in like a giant tidal wave, man, and just moving into the top spots. And where does a Volkov go from here? Because I don't think he's going to make a run of the title anymore.
I still think he can, honestly. I think
tools,
the tools that he has, man, when he is on, he is on. And let's face it, man, he would have been fighting for the belt if Derek Lewis hadn't had some miraculous fifth wind of energy in their fight. I mean, that was he would have got a title shot off of that, and who knows what would have happened. But man, when they signed Volkov, I was extremely high because I'd seen what he'd done before, right? And I was like, this guy's UFC caliber. And they signed him, and I was like, whoa, UFC's signing a top 5 heavyweight? Since when? The heavyweights are usually awful, in the UFC. And I still think he can do big things, man. He just recently still bulked up, right? He's only had 3 fights since he's put on all that muscle mass. And that takes a feeling out process for sure. He just looks so patient in this one, man. He looks so patient.
This one, I felt like after this, I feel like these guys are in the spots that they need to be. Like their rankings, they're perfect right now. With Alexander Volkov, you have Aspinall ahead of him. He already lost to Derek Lewis. Did he lose to Curtis Blades? Has he fought Curtis Blades?
Well, so here's the thing with the Lewis fight, though. I mean, he won 4 minutes and 45 seconds of that fight. So even though he lost that fight, I still think he's good enough to beat him.
He lost to Curtis Blades.
He did lose to Curtis Blades. Yeah,
lost to Cyril Gahn. Like we said, he lost to Aspinall, and I know he was beating Derek Lewis for most of the fight, but the end result was that he lost. So who knows? Like people will say, hey, I think 9 out of 10 times he beats Derek Lewis, but that's an assumption, I guess you could say. All I have to go off of is the fact that he lost to Derek Lewis.
True, but if we're talking about his results of his fights as a means to say where he should be in the rankings or where he's capable of being, with that fight in consideration of that, we know he can fight at that level because, I mean, for more than 4.5 rounds, he was outclassing him. So he is good enough to be at that level. It's just, I mean, it's just tough, especially at heavyweight. It's tough. But that you could also, on the flip side of that, is at heavyweight, anything could happen. So, I mean, he could, you don't think he beats Tai? I think he beats Tai Tuivasa.
Well, yeah. And that's what I was going to say. The only question mark for me in the top 5 right now is Tai Tuivasa. And I love some Tai Tuivasa. I love Tai Tuivasa. But I just don't know if he has the skill set, right, for like a Curtis Blades, a Tom Aspinall, Stipe Miocic, a Cyril Gahn. Dude,
he's got this, man.
And it's so much fun. He's so much fun to watch. But like I said, I feel like Alexander Volkov's in a really good spot. And Jairzinho Rozenstruik, again, when you look behind him, Chris Daukaus, Marcin Tybura, Pavlovich, like he's in a good spot there too. Where he's going to be fighting some of these killers too. So I feel like they're solid right now where they're at.
I agree with that too. Man, that right hand though that Volkov landed, Rozenstruik cracks him with the left hook, right? Wobbles him for a second. He's like, oh shit. And then he just starts swinging wild, right? Rozenstruik does. Volkov's evading pretty much everything, either blocking or he's evading, slipping. He circles around him and then gets his back against the cage, and he's just standing there like, okay, here we go. I got you right here. And he's just waiting. And he like feints to the body real quick and just throws that like right hand. Like, you ever play Tekken?
Oh, of course, dude.
Remember Jack 5?
No, I don't remember Jack 5.
Rich knows what I'm talking about.
I always played the dude that was the Jamaican guy?
I don't remember. But
I don't remember, dude.
But Jack 5, he has like a piston, right? He's like a robot. He throws that right hand up against the fence.
I remember that guy.
It is, So the way Volkov threw that punch was fucking like, it's so aggressive and so like terrifying. The way he just walked him into the cage after eating a flurry, he just turns him around and is like, okay, I'm just gonna throw this one punch, and it just destroys this whole game. Nasty, man. I'm a big fan of Volkov. Pound for pound, one of the best back tattoos in the UFC.
Yeah, didn't he change it up too? Not that long ago.
Used to be the manta ray on the top of his back, across his shoulders, and then he did a cover up. Now it's a gigantic, like, dude, it's so sick.
It is a pretty sick tattoo. All right, man.
I like Volkov.
I don't have anything else for the main event. Do you?
The only thing would be that I was not very excited for this being a main event. I didn't think this should be a main event. This card kind of screamed, hey, we have to hit our quota for ESPN. But that being said, it was a fun little fight, It
was a fun card overall.
Yeah, it was.
Let's get to the rest of the card now. Okay.
Yeah.
So the next fight we're going to cover, we have Evloev versus Dan Ige. We have Evloev was favored going into this. I don't remember the exact odds, but I know he was favored going in. Evloev came in 15-0 to this fight.
Ranked 13 in the division.
Yep. Ige had dropped 2 in a row. It's been somewhat of a downward spiral for Dan Ige as of late.
Yeah. Well, what happened is he found himself in the top 10 of a terrifying division.
Of Murderer's Row.
Murderer's Row, man. I mean, 145 is terrifying. But yeah, man, Evloev is, we knew he was legit coming into this. This guy seems like the real deal. This is a pretty favorable matchup for him. When they matched this up, I was like, man, I thought Ige was a Ali managed guy. Usually they get favorable matchups, but this was the flip side.
Dude, and you mentioned the fact that
nightmare
145 is Murderer's Row in the top 10, and now you mix in an Evloev. Oh my God, man. He looked fantastic though. His striking is so crisp. His 1-2, the way that he shoots it right down the middle and was just splitting Ige's high guard. The counters, the way that he makes the counters. Oh my God, beautiful timing on the flying knee.
There's a difference of guys who throw stuff like this, right? Because there's the Michel Pajedas of the world who are just kind of, they're going to do a backflip off the cage and try to stomp on you on the ground, or they're throwing these flying knees and cartwheel kicks and all this crazy shit just to see if it lands. This shit was calculated. He landed it twice in the fight. There was something that they saw in Ige's game, his footwork or something, a tendency that he has or something, that he knew this could land. And he landed it so early. It was like, what, a minute and a half into the fight, he landed it and hurt him.
And he rocked him, man.
Yeah.
He was hurt bad.
His whole demeanor.
How tough is Ige, though?
I know. And imagine, it's one thing to eat that and keep going, but it's another thing of you're like a minute 30. I don't remember when exactly it happened, but I think it was like a minute 30 or so into the fight. You're trying to like get your momentum. You're trying to like get into the fight here. Just starting, right? There's nerves, all this shit. You eat a knee like that.
Feeling out process.
Yeah. Now your feeling out process is just you trying to feel out your body and like stay on your feet. And then to still stick with it and continue and finish the fight, really. I mean, all respect to Dan Ige, but you could tell there's always some of those fights where it's like there's levels to this, And Evloev came in here and showed just that, because like you said, striking looked like phenomenal. The grappling was the pace was crazy on the grappling. Excellent
ragdolling him sometimes too.
Yeah, he caught Ige kind of got lazy with the rhythm step there on that first takedown, and he caught him as he was taking the rhythm step, and his toes were pointed right at him, or I don't even know how to say this. His feet were square with his shoulders, hips forward, and caught him in that rhythm step and just took him right off of his feet. And it was like, man, his timing. That's probably another thing that he sees. A lot of people do that rhythm step a little too frequently, Shouldn't be doing it in range.
No, and that's a perfect call out to say his timing, because that's what I was going to say. One of the things that McGregor has said that always stuck with me, other than buy proper 12 whiskey, is just that timing beats speed.
Stoppage. Yeah.
It was a doctor stoppage. HB Comer is going to now say you have the worst Irish accent in history. Watch. But he always said timing beats speed. But the thing with Evloev is that he did have beautiful timing. As you saw with the flying knee, he had a nice counter right hook a couple times that he landed. But it's also he's also very fast. Like I was saying, it's ridiculously fast. So, dude, this guy's going to be a problem as he continues moving up in the top 10.
Yeah, what do you say about Arnold Allen? You call him a bullshit boy or something?
Honestly, I didn't even see any of the post-fight interviews.
Oh no,
no, because I didn't get home till later, so I was like going through the fights like crazy.
Yeah, and that's understandable. I mean, they started early, even earlier for you, right? I think they started at like 12 for you.
Yep.
Yeah. More of that, please. But
I know, for real.
I think he said something about like, because you could tell Felder was like, and it's probably the UFC in his ear, like, make sure he calls out somebody specifically, make him call somebody out. And he was like, maybe Arnold Allen. He's like, Arnold Allen, he is bullshit guy or something like that. Classic, man. But yeah, I mean, I think, man, this division's fucking crazy.
It is.
It's crazy, man.
It is. So for Ige now, that's 3 losses in a row. He's lost 4 out of his last 5.
To who? Korean Zombie, Evloev. Who was before that?
Again, dude, a bunch of killers, right? And I'm not saying Dan Ige is not good, but this is another perfect example. Like I was saying, like I was talking with Volkov, is like you reach this point in your career where, you know, you had your run. Ige was top 5 for a while there. Some said that he could be a contender depending on, you know, whether he actually ended up who was it that he was fighting? They're like, man, if he wins this one,
Calvin
it was Korean Zombie. Well, Calvin Kattar, Korean Zombie. But man, I mean, he's gone up against Korean Zombie, Calvin Kattar, Josh Emmett, and now Evloev. So he's going up against killers. But again, now it's this new generation, this new wave that's coming in, where I just don't know where he's going to fit in the mix.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, if we look at the record too, in hindsight, I'm not really sure how he got to number 10. And or higher. I don't really know, because I mean, he beats Bektic. Okay, I thought he lost to Barbosa, very close fight. Then he loses to Calvin Kattar, beats Gavin Tucker. That's a good win. And then I don't know how he got to number 10, because then it's a loss to Chancellor Young, loss to Josh Emmett, and then here we are. Yep. And I like the guy, but when you look at his style and what he's capable of, and you look at who's in the top, and it's Yair Rodriguez, Max Holloway, Volkanovski.
Again, Calvin Kattar.
Like now Evloev, it's tough because there's nothing that he's doing. I mean, all of those people are special at something. Brian Ortega, there's very special at something. Ige is tough as nails, and he hits hard, and he's hard to put away. But that's not enough in a division like that.
I heard it over and over and over again yesterday during the broadcast when they continued mentioning how tough he was. And I'm telling you, when the only thing they're really calling out is your toughness, it's usually a bad sign. You know what I mean? It's fantastic. Dude, being tough in the UFC is something that you need. But when that's all that's being called out, man, like, okay, so he's going to fall out of the top 10, but we still have Sadiq Youssef, Edson Barbosa, Shane Burgos, Ilya Topuria. Man. Dude, like, you still got some more killers there.
Topuria's on the come up too, I think. He's closing in now.
You put him up against maybe a Sadiq Youssef, Edson Barbosa. They already fought, and like you said, you thought Barbosa won that fight.
Yeah,
Shane Burgos would be a good one. All those are really tough fights for Ige still.
Burgos just signed a fight, right? Who's he fighting?
Let me check.
I'm pretty sure he just signed a fight.
I don't see anything. Yeah,
no?
I don't see any fights lined up for him. Maybe he did. I don't see anything. But yeah, either way, a lot of fun fights that are still there for Ige, but they all look like tough fights still in the top 15 from.
Jourdain. Shane Burgos versus Charles Jourdain.
Woo!
Fantastic fight.
Oh my goodness.
That was going to bug
me up, dude. All right. Anything else there with Ige and Evloev?
Nope, that's going to be it. Fantastic fight, though. Evloev, excited. Very excited to see what he does from here.
Let's move on to our next fight. So we had Trizano versus Almeida. Trizano came in favored at minus 225.
Lucas Almeida making his debut.
Yeah.
Mike Trizano's had some ups and downs, but he's always in exciting fights. I think Almeida was on the Contender Series, right?
He was. Man, with Trizano, I feel like his last couple fights, I always keep on thinking to myself, man, like he's right there. He's right there. He's right at the cusp of going on a streak himself, man.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw him catch Almeida, with some big shots that first round. I thought it was over that first round.
Yeah. The first round, it was kind of Almeida setting the pace and Trizano kind of being a little bit more patient, right? And I was like, maybe this is the tactic, right? Guy coming in on his debut. He got turned down from the Contender Series. Going to come out, try to prove something. Let him blow his wad, right? And that's kind of what it seemed like after when that first round ended, because Trizano cracked him. He cracked him good. I think it was like a left, and then as he's falling, he like grabbed him by the back of the head in the Muay Thai plum and just gave him a knee for good measure. Lands flush and sits him down. And how do you come back from that? I mean, that is devastating.
So it's crazy because there's this sweet spot, right? Where there's sometimes some fighters that just jump on top of somebody they knock down and they just go berserk, where they don't plan anything out, right? And it's just wild shots, and it's like, oh, just a little more patience and you probably could have finished it. And this is the case, I think, of Trizano, where I think Trizano was too patient in this case, where he was trying to find the perfect elbow or the perfect shot, and he just gave Almeida so much time to recover. And I think that's what kind of lost in this fight, because he had him.
He had him there. Dude, that was a devastating shot. And then the knee on the as he's falling down. Yeah.
This picture here.
So that's the first round, right? And then the second round, man, Almeida, the guy's a fucking viper. He's a viper. He's throwing his 1-2. He's throwing the lead uppercut to the body, the liver shot, the left hand. He's throwing he throws it like Dustin Poirier, where Dustin Poirier will throw. Poirier does a little different, because Poirier will throw his right hand, his rear hand, and he'll throw it like across, and he'll double up on it. And as he throws the second time, he'll shift stances and then throw the left behind it, his lead hand, and that's how he closes distance. But Almeida, he would throw that overhand right in the orthodox stance. He'd throw it, and then almost just to close the distance with his feet to be able to throw that left hook. And he kept throwing it over and over and over again. And he's so in and out. Trizano got what he deserved as a mullet supporter. HLB Comer, anti-mullet.
Hating on the mullet.
Hating on the mullet. You learn something new every day. But man, but his arsenal is incredible, man. He's going to be very fun to watch, his striking.
Your Instagram picture tomorrow is going to be with a mullet on?
Yeah.
No, yeah, man. And like I said, I feel so bad for Trizano. I'm a fan of Trizano, man. He's an exciting fighter. I can't think of a fight that I've watched with Trizano in there where I'm not like, oh, what kind of a boring fight, right?
He brings it.
And again, I walk away from this fight thinking he was right there, so close. So Almeida lands that big shot in the second, knocks down Trizano. When he goes to get in Trizano's guard, straight headbutt cuts Trizano right under the eye.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Right away starts leaking, and you hear Trizano after they bring in the doctor. Oh, yeah, over. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'm fine. It just leaked in my eye. And I'm like,
Dude, like, yeah. And the doctor's like, let me wipe. My job is to make sure you can see. So let me just wipe all this and then just leave your eye socket full of blood and then walk away. And you can see Trizano's kind of like, and he has to like do it himself. It's like, dude, you're in there with rough, like a cotton swab.
And it's something I was thinking about afterwards. I was like, man, I wonder how much that affected the fight, right? And I know that Almeida had some really nice combinations going already before the cut. You were talking about like that combo where it was like left hook, right to the body, left kick.
Yeah,
and dude, he was landing that beautifully. Clean. But the left hook that he caught him with at the end that finished Trizano was on the right side of Trizano's face. We had all that blood right by his eye, and I'm wondering just whether that hindered his ability to see the left hook coming. I don't know, but either way, it was a fun fight, man.
Yeah, I don't know if the blood was a factor in the finish, at least, because they both kind of dug deep and were swinging, and it was the slip that allowed him to get that left shot. And
true.
So I mean, maybe the blood did help in blinding him, right? But
I also wrote down, or was it Trizano keeping his head up after extending with his right? Because he really overextended with it when he went with the right, and his head was straight up.
That slip that Almeida did right before the left hook that dropped him was fucking beautiful. And maybe the blood was a factor, but even if there was no blood, you're not seeing that shot come. If you're in position like that, or you're out of position, I should say, like you said, overextending, right, and allowing him to slip under it, no one's seeing that coming. That shit was money. It was so good. I am very excited to see his next fight.
Yes, keep an eye on Lucas Almeida. All right, I want to move on to the next fight.
HLB Comer says, I think they're not allowed to wipe them down or something like that. I've seen that too, But it's weird because like the UFC has all these rules, and it seems like half the time they abide by them, and half the time they don't. Because I've seen them say like, "Oh, I got poked in the eye. Can you just like rub it
I've
real
seen
quick?"
them
And they're
hand
like,
them the
"No."
towel. I've seen them
Yeah, I've seen
hand
that
the
too.
fighter the towel,
Yeah.
where the fighter then wipes their own eye and gives it back.
But then it's like, what are we doing? Because half the time they do that, half the time they don't, half the time they're like, "Oh, we can't, sorry," and it's like,
Yeah.
can we
Pick
can we
one.
like set a standard, please?
Pick one. Yeah, I feel you. All right. The next fight we're going to cover, we have Silva versus Botelho. This is Silva's debut as well.
Silva's debut. Big favorite coming into this, right?
She was favored minus 120. I wouldn't say big favorite, but she was definitely favored coming in.
Minus 120, okay.
Yeah, Trizano had better odds, but we know how that went.
Yeah. 4 finishes in a row for Silva. HOV
Yes.
Cummins' rule schmooze. Let's go. Let's just bleed.
So with dude, Botelho, she's very entertaining. And the thing I love about her is the exaggerated feints.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I don't know if you noticed that. Like when she feints the calf kick, it's like the entire body moves with her like all crazy, and then she super exaggerated. So I always just get a kick out of that. But the thing I noticed about Silva, yeah, a little bit.
Johnny Walker does that.
Is the fact that we always talk about fighters getting their debut and the adrenaline dump, and Silva seems so calm and so composed for this being her debut, man.
Yeah,
like
man.
She belongs. She definitely belongs, man. You know what I mean?
She's the real deal. I mean, she had 3 finishes coming into this fight, so this is 4 in a row for her. I mean, when that's the case, I mean, you have the confidence, and I think this was like 11 first-round finishes for her now in her career. That's crazy.
That is nuts.
Yeah, that's cragy. Shout out George, one of the OGs. Been a while.
Oh,
we live and direct. What's up, fellas? Hashtag War
Glover. Nobody loves Glover Teixeira more than George, I think.
Man, George made that pick early.
He did.
He called that early.
Man.
But yeah.
So with Silva, I think
this right hand though that she threw,
the right hand.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But the thing that I loved about it is that as soon as she connected, there was no time wasted, man. And she goes straight for the takedown, head positioned right on Botelho's chin, driving through.
I have a theory on why, and it's she threw the right hand to set up the takedown, and it just happened to land clean. But she didn't throw it to like knock her out or anything. I think she just threw it to get her to shell up so that she could.
And she's like, "Oh, she's already falling."
she's like, "Oh shit, it landed." And then she's like already deep on the double, you know?
Dude, but it was beautiful, man. Like I said, no time wasted. And then no time wasted after that in sinking in the Darce choke.
No time wasted. I am very high on her. And in the division that she's in, get her up there. Skyrocket.
115,
That's
right?
The center. 125.
Oh, 125?
Was it not at 125?
Dude.
Yeah, it was.
If it's 125, yeah. Dude, 125, her next fight might actually be against Shevchenko. Her second fight in the UFC might be against Shevchenko. Yeah. We'll see what happens, man. But
better than Joe Lozon.
She'll break into the top 15. UFC.
Oh, yeah.
She'll break into the top 15.
For sure. And
get her up there.
It's funny. I sent a photo in that group chat that we're in, but that I made real quick after the first fight of this night, and we'll talk about it. But this one, Anik could have been justified in just being like, we have a new contender in the 125 division. It would have been okay. I would have let it slide. I would not have made a meme about it. But
by the way, dude, I'm at work and you guys are all texting about the fights. You know how painful it is? And I'm like, I just want to be home right now watching these fights.
Yeah, can't you just go into SDR and just put them on?
Yeah. In the break, I'll be like, hey guys, I'll be back in 4 hours.
Yeah.
If only it was that easy. All right. Anything else on that fight?
Not really. Big right hand, cool submission. I'm excited. What else can you want?
Next fight that we're going to cover, Ode Osbourne versus Zarrukh Adashev.
There you go. Good job on that.
Did I land it?
I think so. I'm going to just refer to him as...
As what? What were you going to say?
I'm just going to say Adashev. I'm not going to try that first name. Maybe it's Zarrukh. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Zarrukh. That's what I'm going with. Anyways, Osbourne came in favored minus 195 into this fight, just so you know.
Ode Osbourne, we've talked about him before. The guy is, in my opinion, he is somebody that is must watch. I know he kind of became a meme fighter because that I don't remember who he was fighting, but it was on a card with Conor, and he's like, you know what? People are going to come out of this, and they're not going to talk about this being a Conor McGregor card. They're going to be talking about this like this was the Ode Osbourne card, and I think he lost. But so people kind of joke about him and stuff on that. But dude, if you go through his record, win or lose, I mean, how many first round finishes has this guy been a part of? It's crazy.
It was against Brian Kelleher.
Was it?
Yeah. It lost by guillotine choke, and that was on the McGregor versus Cerrone card.
Classic, man. Classic. But, yeah, I mean, look at this.
Hey, love the confidence, though.
Yeah, so his UFC debut is that Brian Kelleher fight. Loses in the first round, guillotine choke. Second fight, Jerome Rivera. First round, knockout. He wins. Next fight, Manel Kape. Loses in the first round with a flying knee. So his first 3 fights were first round knockouts or first round finishes. Then he has a decision. He wins. Now this fight, another first round finish. I mean, he's must watch TV in my opinion.
He's money, man.
Win or lose.
You know what? I was actually impressed with Adashev too, man. He has lightning for hands. Those are super quick hands. Yep. But you know that what happens though is Osbourne has. Are you ready for this corny line? He has lightning fast hands too. Yes, thunder as well.
Ooh.
Oh, you like that one? Lightning and thunder.
Lightning and thunder.
Yeah. Hey, I heard was that the drums?
Oh, it was the drums.
Yeah. Hey, Rich. There we go. Hey, perfect timing, Rich. Thank you.
I can't believe he was on that.
Dude.
But
long and lean for Osbourne. And the thing with this specific weight division, like you saw the build that Adashev has, right? He reminds me very much of a Henry Cejudo. Smaller, stocky. But when you're this long and you're this lean at this division, it allows for so many counters, man. You know what I mean?
It does.
Where most of the flyweights can't counter.
Yeah, because you're more extended, right? And it was perfect. The little right hook over the top that Ode landed as he's stepping back. The dude cracks. Like you said, he's fast. He's got lightning and thunder, all that stuff. The timing was perfect. And once again,
man, rolling with that, dude.
Yeah, HW Comer says impressions game has to be leveled up. We'll work on it. But man, this division, time and time again, they're putting on bangers, better, dude. Man. It's so fun. There's not much to talk about, right?
It was a fast fight.
A fast fight. I mean, it was maybe 2 exchanges, and then he dropped him. But that being said, perfect example of how to finish a fight when you drop somebody, because dude shut his lights off with the hook. He kind of woke up on the ground, put his lights out again with the hammer fist. Another hammer fist wakes him up, and then he puts him out again. Got knocked out 3 times in this fight. It was crazy. It was like 20 seconds, and he got knocked out 3 times. Nasty. Nasty.
All right, man. Anything else?
No. I mean, like I said, that was what, like 30 seconds, a minute? Quick fight.
It was fast. Yeah, I think we talked about it longer than the fight actually took to be over. So,
man.
All right.
Another good Ode Osbourne card.
Yes. The next fight that we're going to cover, Alonzo Menifield versus Askar Mozharov.
Lots of drama in this one.
Yeah. Hey, Menifield coming in minus 255 favorite, so pretty decent favorite for the UFC.
Yeah, I mean, well, did you see the drama with this one?
I saw them talking to each other a lot, during the fight.
But do you know why?
Why? What happened?
Dude, this guy.
Here, give me the drama, dude. Come on.
Yeah, this guy, Askar Mozharov. This was his UFC debut. He lied about his record to get into the UFC.
Nice.
Yeah, said that a couple of the wins that he had were actually losses. And then it comes out that not only were some of them losses, some of them never happened.
What?
They just never happened. Before he signed to the UFC.
This guy's manager, Amber Heard? What's going on?
Dude, before he signed to the UFC, his record was 25-7. Man, big prospect. You watch his fights, he's kill or be killed. He's dropping people. It's fun. Look what is his record right now? His corrected record is 19-13. When they signed him, he was 25-7. and that changed to 19-13. And that's why Menifield at the end was like, "Fuck this guy." He's like, "This guy's got 3 different records. What the hell?" He's coming in here talking like he's gonna kill me.
That's insane, man.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody did their homework.
HLB Comer says, "Oh, I was hoping someone can explain all that post-fight drama. New Will be our boy with the gossip knowledge." Hey, that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for.
It was like the TMZ of just like UFC, you know?
Yeah.
That's awesome. No, but
Crazy
Menifield, man, hey, he had a fantastic game plan right off the bat.
Performance,
taking Mozharov down.
Pat Barry in his corner.
And you could tell that was just a game plan from the get-go. They were talking about how Mozharov is very dangerous in the first round. So why not just wear him out, right?
Yeah.
Dude, and then when he gets that crucifix, those elbows, I'm pretty sure his orbital broke.
Dude,
there was one of those last elbows.
Oh my God, I saw that too.
You could see it just like kind of like pop right here, and it just swollen right away.
Yeah. Next picture, Rich. I think it's actually that one. Maybe there's 2 more. So yeah, there's takedown, right? Takedown. Methodical to get to that crucifix position, right? I mean, just like
and his corner, they're like, move to have. Oh, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
And they're yelling this from the corner, and I'm like, oh, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
That's
exactly
right
what he was trying to do.
It's swollen right there. I noticed.
Oh yeah,
that too.
That's it.
The first couple elbows looked fine, and then all of a sudden he brought his elbow up, and it revealed like a mouse under the eye, and I was like, oh my God, man, the damage.
Broken orbital for sure.
It's got.
So he lands a couple of these elbows, and you're like, these are nasty, but he's still trying to block as much as he can, right? And then after that, I think it was a third elbow, he was like, Jesus, take the wheel, man. And his arms just went flat back. And
dude, nasty.
It had to be stopped at that. It maybe could have been stopped after the second elbow. I don't know. I don't think it was going to get any better.
Could have been.
I'm sure Menifield didn't mind.
Yeah, and this is coming off a loss, right? A contested loss, close fight kind of. The dude's kind of struggled a little bit. You know, he wins his first 2 in the UFC against Paul Craig in one of them. Fantastic win. Finished him in the first round. Then he loses to Devin Clark. Gets knocked out by OSP. He gets the Von Flue choke against Fabio Charant. Doesn't really age that well. He goes to decision with a 50-year-old Ed Herman. Doesn't age that well. Then he loses to William Knight. This has got to feel good. And I like him, man. He seems like a pretty good dude. Some of his fights are pretty exciting. I hope
he's a fighter of the people, dude. He's a fighter for all that's right in the UFC and making sure that you come in legitimately. You know what I mean? So
HW Comer says, I heard after the fight, Alonzo was so mad he went and keyed Askar's car and beat him at Fortnite.
Oh, damn, man. Hey, he needs to chill.
Then he took his lunch money.
Damn, he needs to chill, man.
But yeah, Menifield showed it's hard to say, right? Because the whole
Can you imagine though? Dude, I'm just thinking about that what HLV Cover just said. He's like, here's my handle, man. See me tonight, 9 p.m.
See me tonight. We'll do a private match. 1v1. Can you 1v1 in Fortnite? I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, I was excited to see the way Menifield performed in this because, I mean, he showed how much of it was Menifield and how much of it was a dude with a fake record getting into the UFC. Who knows? But it's promising. And Pat Barry's in his corner now, tuning up his striking. Some people will joke about that, but Pat Barry knows what the fuck he's talking about. I don't care what people say.
I don't care.
He's going through some tough shit right now, man.
Oh, man. All right. Anything else on that fight? That was another fast one.
Quick one. Like butter. Went right through him.
All right. We'll move on to the next fight then. The next fight we're going to cover, Karolina Kowalkiewicz versus Felice Herrig.
The people's main event. Old school women's MMA. 2 pioneers of women's MMA, in my opinion.
I love Karolina Kowalkiewicz, man.
Doesn't everybody?
I just love her. And then the way that she just leans back against the cage whenever they call her name, and she just looks so calm.
Yeah.
You know?
She's been going through it lately, man.
She has, you know. I know that she had she was battling some mental demons, right? And just not wanting to really get back in the cage, not really enjoying the process anymore. Wasn't really sure if she was going to continue fighting. I mean,
she's at one point she was cut.
Dude, she had to have been, but she's so adorable. Why would you cut her? But then the thing is, dude, okay, listen. So she went up against Joanna Jędrzejczyk, right?
And almost finished
fighting for the title. Claudia Gadelha
Do you remember that though? She almost finished her. The overhand right.
And then she goes on a couple wins again. One of those against Felice Herrig. And then she fights Jessica Andrade. And I witnessed this live, Will. And when I tell you my heart was broken, dude, I was devastated. I was devastated. By the way,
Andrade,
this is pretty much a pick 'em fight.
Andrade does that. Yeah, pick 'em fight. But Andrade does that to people. When she slammed Rose on her neck, my heart broke. But I mean, she's coming into this 5 losses in a row. But if you look at the losses, Andrade, Karate Hottie, Grasso, Yan Xiaonan, Penne. Not the best one.
That's a rough one. You know what I mean?
That's a rough one. But other than that,
she lost to Jessica. Oh, Andrade? No, Penne. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Both. But but she comes into this. Felice is also kind of towards the end of her career, obviously after the
1 foot in, 1 foot out already.
1 foot, yeah, exactly. Like you said, pick 'em fight. But man, Karolina, the difference in this fight for me was, here's a perfect picture. Felice is throwing, especially in that first round. She kind of tuned it up a little bit more at the start of the second, but that first round, she was reaching. She was throwing super far.
Blitzing.
She's punching. Yeah, not even really blitzing. She's trying to punch. She's trying to get to the target with her hands rather than her feet, right? It doesn't work. And Karolina was there's a difference with you're really trying to punch somebody versus I'm getting there with my feet and my upper body is doing the combo. And if you're there, you're there. That's on my feet. My feet are to get me there. I'm just throwing my combo the way I'm supposed to throw it. Hopefully my feet are getting me there. The difference between the two right there, because Felice is reaching with her hands, trying to touch her, but Karolina is throwing her combos and getting there. And if you go to the next picture, it's the complete opposite of this. And it's her in tight, right? She's not far away, and she's cracking her every time. Felice would reach, and Karolina's like slip, and here I am with my combos, and I'm cracking you. Not a ton of power on him, right? But man, I was so impressed. Because everywhere the fight went, she was beating her.
Yeah, I know. And the thing with Herrig, like you said, reaching a little bit, and there's a feu times, if you go back and watch a fight, which you probably won't, because I mean, there's not much to rewatch on this one.
I rewatched it this morning.
Oh my God. MMA degenerate. But there's this thing where Karolina would slip, and Herrig was keeping her head in the center line so much that Karolina at southpaw would slip left as Herrig was coming in, and she would hit her with a straight right 3 times in a row. 3 times in a row. While Herrig is throwing left, right, trying to reach her.
She's
Karolina's just popping her 3 times in a row. And she wasn't even having a lot of head movement. It was just a simple slip. But her head stayed in the exact same position so long that she landed the exact same straight 3 times. And I'm like, come on. So like you said, she started getting a little bit better as the fight continued going on. But at this point, she was already getting pretty beat up, man. She went to her corner, at the end of the first round, already showing some damage on her face. They start, clinching a little bit more. And Karolina did such a good job of elbowing off the break.
Yeah, can we go back to one picture, Rich?
Over and over again. And I don't know how many times, but from like 3 minutes into the first round, Herrig kept on looking at the clock over and over and over again and taking deep breaths and then walking back towards Karolina. They would break, Karolina would elbow, and before she pressured again, she'd look up and then walk forward again. Yeah. And it's just like, well, fuck, I'm already here. Might as well,
That's 1 foot in, 1 foot out, like you said.
That's 1 foot in, 1 foot out. But hey, props to Herrig, man. Great career for her.
She went in there, man. Yeah, and she retired after the fight. I do want to say that the finish, she got out of the first rear naked choke. Karolina was kind of on the side though. She didn't have full back control, right? She had one hook in. The way they were positioned, she didn't really have full back control, so the angle was kind of off. You hear her coaches say bail on it, step over to mount. She does it right when they say it. And then she hits her a couple times, and it forces Herrig to go into the turtle position. And then from there, dude, the hooks that she was landing, nasty.
Vicious.
And that's how you get a choke. Unless you're like Damian Maia or Ortega, somebody like that who can just find their way in. You just batter them until they have to try to do something, and then the choke's there, cinch it up, got the win. Immediately screams after. You could tell this was is a big
Meant a
deal.
lot.
5 in a row. She lost 5 in a row coming into this. And man,
Back on the win column.
Yeah, this is what happens. This fight takes place. She gets a second round finish. Got to feel amazing. Reignites the career. She's at AT&T. She's training with Joanna. All these people, right? She looked like much better, right? Less reserved. She's going in there throwing combos. And on the flip side, Herrig retires after the fight. Could you imagine if this was the other way around? And Herrig wins, then retires. She's gone.
And they're both like, hey, we're both out.
Yeah, Karolina probably gets cut. This could have been a disaster.
Don't cut her every
complete meltdown. I know. But
don't ever cut her. All right.
Great fight from her, though.
Congratulations.
I was excited about that fight, man.
And also congratulations, Felice Herrig, for a great career.
Yeah. I mean, both of them pioneers.
Starting in 2009. Felice Herrig started in 2009.
She was on tough with Rose, Penne, Carla Esparza. I mean, she was part of that. They kind of helped usher in that division.
Did you watch that entire season?
Of course I did.
I was going to say, for somebody that loves UFC drama, you were probably just in like UFC heaven watching that. That was so much drama.
I watched that season specifically for Rose because I was a Pat Barry fan and I knew she was going to be on it. And I was like, oh, let's go, Thug Rose. Well, she wasn't Thug Rose yet, but I was like, Rose, she's a killer. Trains with Pat Barry. They're together, all that stuff. So I watched it literally just for that.
Watched it for Rose, stayed for the drama.
Stayed for the drama. Beck Rawlings. That was a good season, man.
One of the last good tough seasons. Good. I'm just talking shit because I watched the entire thing too, and I loved it. All right, so the next fight we're going to cover, I think we're going to skip a few fights, right? We're already pretty far in.
We're 50 minutes in, yeah.
Benoit Saint-Denis versus Stolze.
Yeah. Dude.
By the way, Saint-Denis? No, Saint-Denis.
Saint-Denis. Yeah, Saint-Denis.
I love it.
Dude, his debut, I'm glad he took the time off because the guy is really good. But remember his first fight? That was crazy. I mean, the dude got the brakes beaten off of him. It was literally just him getting his ass kicked. It was pretty hard to watch. But he was tough as nails.
Versus Zaleski?
Yeah, it was really bad.
Yeah,
really bad. And I remember it was like, okay, yeah, this guy's. They always talk about special forces, France, all this stuff. He's been through it, and you could tell in that fight. And it was like, man, I want to see this guy get a win. And then in this one, once again, tested, tough as nails. And gets the win. He looked good.
Looked fantastic. I mean, it was a pretty quick fight, right? Saint-Denis also favored -155 going into this fight. I think Stolze landed a knee that cut up Saint-Denis.
The knee was nasty.
Everything else was Saint-Denis after that.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, okay. Is that what you want to do?
There's
the knee. All right.
And I
not much to cover on this fight, though. It was quick.
Yeah, I just remember his face when he got taken down, and I was like, oh, no. There it is.
Record scratch.
I mean, yeah. You might be wondering
how I got here.
The French Special Forces fighter on top of me. But
look,
yeah,
he looks
happy
like
to
a
see him
savage
get the
in
win.
that picture. All right. Let's cover the next fight then. The next fight to cover, Gravely versus Munoz. So Gravely coming in -125 favorites. Man. This guy's so much fun to watch.
The dude cracks.
He cracks. And especially at this weight division, man, in this weight class. I mean, come on, man. Another really quick fight.
Yeah.
But all I can think about is not so much about the fight, but all I just kept on thinking after that knockout was like, who does Gravely fight next?
Yeah, seriously. Because this one was like the way it reminded me of Derek Lewis versus Curtis Blades. Because at first I was like, what the fuck? He even knocked him out? I didn't even see it. I couldn't tell what happened. And then they showed the replay. And he, as he's throwing the uppercut, Munoz Jr. just goes, he's heavy into the takedown. And he lands that short uppercut. It looked exactly like it. And he just crumbles. I was like, man, how hard does this guy hit to make this look like a heavyweight knockout? To make it look like a Derek Lewis knockout. Nasty.
Is he related to Dennis Green?
Dennis Green? I don't
know. All right. Anyways. Yeah,
I don't know. Because at this division, at 135, I mean, it's almost like if I were in the UFC, I wouldn't even want to get wins in that division. Like, fuck this, man. I don't want to fight anybody up there. Terrifying. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you do from here.
Another division, man. You talked about 145 earlier. 135 is
craziest
nuts.
one.
Craziest.
It's the craziest
All right.
one.
Again, running a little low on time, so we'll move over to the next fight. Next fight,
That
Molina
was pretty much the only thing that happened.
versus Zhumagulov.
Yeah. 2 victims of Manel Cap on this card. Both of them got finished by him pretty significantly. I just want to say that. But
Molina came in favored, by the way, minus 180 into this fight.
Well, he's on a 9-fight win streak coming into this, right?
I think so. Let's see here. Yeah.
Great stare down.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic stare down.
Yeah.
That makes it a lot better, too.
Yeah. I thought they got this one wrong.
You gave it to Zhumagulov.
I did. And I don't know if it's because of how hyped Molina is coming into it, and he's on a 9-fight win streak, and he looks smooth and stuff like that. I just thought he looked kind of lost in there, honestly. And Zhumagulov really took it to him everywhere. And when they were at 30-27, I was like, okay, yeah, because how are you gonna not give him at least one round? This got to be a win. And then they gave it to Molina, and I was like, oh, whoa, look at that. That's kind of crazy.
I mean,
it's not a robbery.
At the end, I was like, it could go either way, right? Zhumagulov looked, for me in the beginning, faster, stronger. He was a little bit craftier in that first round. But then I think
rocked in the second.
Yeah, but for me, it came down to because he was able to control. He had octagon control. He clinched him up against the cage a lot. Yeah. But then it comes down to, we talked about this, what was it, 1 or 2 weeks ago? We're like, yeah, but what does he do once he has him up against the cage? And how do you score that? You know, like it was a tough one for me. And
yeah,
I mean, Molina was hitting him with some little rabbit punches, you know, making it uncomfortable for Zhumagulov, making Zhumagulov change head position.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty clear win for Zhumagulov. And HLB Comer shouts out Molina had the surprise face of the night, because even him, when they read the decision, he was like, really?
Yeah, that's true. He did.
I mean, I don't see how you could I don't know. It's a close fight. It's not a robbery, but this one kind of baffled me. I thought for sure Zhumagulov won.
I'll go back and watch this one. This is one I will go back and watch, just because I'm really curious about this one, because I wasn't watching it, like scoring it as I was going. But I just like I said, I just remember thinking at the end, like, Hey, by the way, did you notice that your name changed on the screen?
Yeah.
TMZ Will.
Yeah. Shout out HLB Comer for getting rich to do that.
Hey, hopefully we don't get like we don't get taken down by TMZ or something. Yeah, it's just like it stands for something totally different.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
What did so the media scorecards, those are always fun sometimes. 4 out of 13 people had 30-27 for Zhumagulov. 8 out of 13 had Zhumagulov 29-28, and 1 out of 13 had Molina winning the fight. It's not a robbery because it wasn't a super one-sided fight, but I don't know. I don't know what the scoring criteria is.
Hey, anymore. I'm not saying I would have given it to Molina.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I would have given it to Zhumagulov. I'm just saying I saw him clinched up against the cage, and I was like, do more, Zhumagulov. But
he did hurt him in the second.
But Molina didn't do a lot either, other than those little rabbit punches. So do you give octagon control at that point to Zhumagulov? Which at a certain point you have to go to that when you're scoring, right?
Well, you do. The certain point is when nothing's happening. So yeah.
Yeah. So
here we are.
All right. Want to go on to the last fight we're going to cover?
Yeah. We'll spend not a ton of time on this one, but a little bit more.
All right. Last fight we're going to cover then. Blanchfield versus Aldrich. Blanchfield came in the biggest favorite of the card, I think, minus 425. Wow.
She's been promised as like the next thing of this division. You know, she became kind of what Macy Barber wished she did.
Dang, man. We got to throw Macy Barber under the bus like that.
Come on.
She's the future, man.
She's the future. Yeah, she was the future. But yeah, Blanchfield comes into this, and everyone's saying the same thing. This is the division that's ripe for the taking, right? Obviously not at the top, but eventually Shevchenko is going to be gone, and it's a shallow division, right? It'll be up for grabs for anybody who's got to win. You know.
Again, her next fight might be against Shevchenko. We don't know.
Well, like John Anik screamed at the end of this fight. What did he say? He's like, and 125 has a new contender. I was like, what? Because, man, the whole fight, I mean, she got the finish. She got the win. But the whole fight, it was her walking into Aldrich's punches. Just walk. I mean, look at this picture.
Yeah, Aldrich had some quick hands.
Dude, every time she's coming in, Aldrich just pop, 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 circles out. And then she's like, all right, I'll just keep walking forward and eat your punches. And I was like, man, the state of this division is crazy. But then she got the win. And then Anik, you could tell Anik had that prepared for this one. No matter what happened,
we got new contenders.
as long as Blanchfield got the win, he was going to say it.
Oh, man. No, the thing I did like about Blanchfield is that she mixed it up a little bit more. She gave Aldrich different looks. She did change level change more often, which probably threw Aldrich off a little bit.
Yeah.
But dude, I thought both of them looked really good.
Both of them looked really good, but listen to what you're saying. This fight was supposed to be a good finish win for Blanchfield, where she could
like a coming out party.
This was because, I mean, you saw the odds. That's exactly what this fight was supposed to be. And instead, I mean, she got the finish, and it was a great standing guillotine. Once she locked it up and she cranked it. Once she got the crank on that, I was like, "There's no way she's getting out of this," and that was impressive. But the lack of growth in the striking department is going to be stopping her from becoming the contender of this division, because she's not going to get the sneaky guillotine on Shevchenko. And if she has a hard time walking JJ Aldrich down, she's going to have a nightmare of a time walking Shevchenko down. Because stylistically, that's what Shev wants. She wants you to walk into her, because then she can have her combos, her counters, and she'll put you out. I just didn't see it in this one. And she's young, right? She's young in the game too, so she can still grow. But you compare this to Silva's
so this
fight.
Just in, Blanchfield, Will hates Blanchfield. Okay.
No. I'm just I just no, I just want to see more. I just want to see more,
This just in, Will hates women's MMA. Okay. Well,
meanwhile, I rewatched the Karolina fight this morning.
Yeah.
How many people do you think rewatched that fight?
Not many. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, this was a fun picture of her throwing her mouthpiece out.
Nice.
It's cool. All the slobber. Nice. Shout out Chris Unger. I think he was the only photographer of the night. Get him on award.
He held it down, huh?
Held it down. I think these Vegas cards, it seems like they're just they have like one photographer at them now.
Oh, damn, that sucks. Hey, everybody's going through budget cuts. You know what I mean?
You need 2 angles, I'll go.
You do. All right, that was it. That was all the fights we're going to cover, Will. Moment of silence?
Yeah, moment of silence. Cynthia Calvillo versus Brianna Fortino. Used to be Van Buren. Shout out Gilroy. She's from Gilroy. Shout out Toasty. She trains with Toasty, all those guys. But that was supposed to happen. And that's kind of like some drama fight because AKA, they're both local.
Everything with Cynthia Calvillo is a drama fight.
Yeah. Joaquin Buckley was supposed to fight Magomedov. I'm not even going to try to say the first name. Abusupiyan? I don't know.
Abusupiyan. Come on, Will.
Yeah, it's easy.
By the way, that video of Joaquin Buckley talking to Darren Till.
Oh, yeah.
You see that one?
So funny. Yeah.
And Hamza's like, who is that guy? And Darren Till's like, I have no fucking clue, man.
Yeah.
So funny. I love that video.
Damon Jackson was supposed to fight Derek Minner. Minner had a concussion in training, so they pulled him out. Alonzo Menifield was originally supposed to fight Nick Negamuriano. Would have been a fun fight, but I'm kind of glad that fight didn't happen because then we got the cool crucifix. That's always fun. So that was it, though. Those are all the awesome fights.
Oh, man. Poor Mozharov, though, huh?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, dude, I lied my way here for this.
I know.
So
my eye socket broken.
Bonuses.
Lucas Almeida and Mike Trizano got fight of the night, $50,000 to each of them. I thought that was pretty much on the money. Karine Silva, she got a performance bonus for her Darce. Ode Osbourne got a bonus for his knockout as well. Pretty good.
Against Adashev. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Well deserved. What do we have up next? Well, what do we have coming up next week?
What do we have coming up next week?
UFC 275? Is it the man dime? Jiří Procházka?
It's time.
Oh,
and
boy.
George,
Okay, look
just
at
in
this message
time.
that just
George
came through. What round does Glover finish? Jiří. Wow. Man, I've been looking forward to this fight already for so long. And this, I mean, take a look at the top 3 fights, man. Zhang Weili versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
This card is amazing.
The return of Joanna Jędrzejczyk. We've been wanting to see this rematch for the longest time, and it's happening. Shevchenko versus Santos. We get to see Shevchenko.
This main card is crazy, bro. Talia Santos is no joke. I really like watching her fight.
I just don't think anybody challenges Shevchenko.
No, probably not. We got my boy Manel Cap on the main card. UFC said, "Fuck that bullshit." Nevada State Athletic Commission trying to take your career away, take money away from you. We don't give a fuck. Here we go. Main card against Bontorin. These fools crack. This is going to be a fantastic fight. And then Jack Della is back, opening up the main card. Jack Della, let's go.
Dude, this
kind of crazy that they gave him a Russian wrestler, because you'd think that the UFC would be like, only strikers for Jack Della. Only strikers. Let's keep this fun. So that's going to be interesting. Brendan Allen's headlining the prelims against Jacob Malkoun. That's a great fight. Sungwoo Choi is back. Come on.
Boy Choi? Dude.
Come on, dude.
I'm excited for this.
Yeah, it's a very good card. Jake Matthews fighting Andre Fiallo. What the hell is Fiallo doing? How is he just... Dude, he made his debut and he's like, I'm just going to keep fighting.
Every 2 weeks, just toss this guy in there. Why not? Let's do it.
Man, he made his UFC debut in January, and he's about to have his 4th fight.
Did you see what just came through right now, Will? George says the fans want a story of the fight pre-show before the card starts.
What do you mean, like live? Isn't this in Singapore? What time is this airing?
Ooh, that's a great question. I don't know. Tapology is always wrong when it comes to the start time.
Yeah, that's definitely true. We'll find out what the time zones are and stuff and see what we can do. But this card deserves it, man.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm just so excited for this. I'm looking at the card right now, dude. I don't know what to say. There's just so many exciting fights.
Danal Baccarat versus Kyung Ho Kang. Come on, man. This card is crazy.
All right. Can't wait. Will? Do we have anything
9 p.m.
else?
Eastern, if I recall correctly, says HLB Comer. So
if I recall. Okay.
9 p.m. though? Eastern? Oh, that's Eastern though.
That's Eastern. That'd be 6 p.m. for you, dude.
Yeah. Is that the prelims? The main. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll see if that's something we could do. But that's a great call there, George. Thank you. Appreciate it. That's all. That's all we got for the.
Did you watch the Haney fight? HLB Comer just called out the Haney fight. Did you watch that?
I did not.
I saw highlights. I didn't watch it. I had COVID.
Ooh.
By the way, I probably should have. That was a thing I could have said at the beginning of the show. But I've been out this whole week with COVID, so I've just been kind of fucked up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, you lead the league in COVID, huh?
Hey, 2 times I got COVID. I got vaccinated. I got vaccinated again. Got COVID again. Here I am.
Dude, you're the super COVID Oh, dude, you're the champ, man.
Yeah.
I'll send you a belt.
I'll send you the COVID belt.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
I got these tests right here. Just came in today.
Seafred coming through, by the way, man.
Shout out, Mom.
Yeah,
thanks,
shout out. Congrats on 995.
Subs.
Thank you.
Let's get to 1,000.
But like we talked about in the beginning, we're trying to get to that 1,000. So if this is your first time watching, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you don't like watching us, but you like listening, again, we got every platform out there. Seriously, if you just, wherever you listen to podcasts, just search Story of the Fight, and your boys are probably there.
Yeah, and I mean, we're everywhere, and go back on our channel because we got fun interviews.
George, COVID is 0-2 against Will.
That's true.
Yeah,
and George reached out to us too. Last week, since there weren't fights, we did the rewatch fight with Connor versus Nate 2. It has the clock in the fight, so if you go watch that, it's like a watch along, right? Just put us in the background. Once you sync it up, the fight's on YouTube, that fight, so you can just put that fight up on YouTube. Someone other channel has it. Watch it with us. It's fun. I'm trying to do some different things. Yes, at Story the Fight on everything. Facebook. No, not Facebook. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everything but Facebook.
I think we still have Facebook. I think.
No, really, I've never used it.
I think we do. Yeah. It's been a minute, dude. It's been a minute.
Facebook's
Don't kick us out, TikTok, please.
Yeah.
Don't
gotta stay youthful.
Yeah,
man.
Right. That's all we got this week. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And it's Colleen, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Colleen. HLB Comer. We got George. Again, it's always so much fun whenever everybody joins us live. We look forward to doing it live so we can talk to everybody. And hey, by the way, Will, did you know this episode was produced by Rich the Casual?
No, this episode was produced by Richard Bustos.
Oh, do we have to say Richard Bustos' entire thing?
I think so.
All right, this episode was produced by Richard Bustos. Thank you for joining us, everybody, for another week of Story of the Fight. Thank you. Will, can I watch the next UFC event at your house?